Coming up on The Weekend View, Selena Gomez opens up about the backlash against her Emilia Pérez co-star, Carla Sofia Gascon. Will it hurt them on Oscar night? Plus, we're getting a tease of the epic girls trip on the new season of The White Lotus. I cannot wait. And celeb couple Nick and Vanessa Lachey reveal that they booked time for a sex day. It all starts now on The Weekend View. Woo!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Weekend View. We made it through another week.
We did.
Okay, so the Oscars are almost here, and this year's most nominated film, Emilia Pérez, is facing backlash now that old tweets written by the star and Best Actress nominee Carla Sofia Gascon resurfaced, which expressed some bigoted views. So she stepped away from the spotlight. Yep. And her co-stars, Selena Gomez and Zoe Saldana, talked about how it impacted everyone involved with the movie. Watch.
Some of the magic has disappeared, but I choose to continue to be proud of what I've done, and I'm just grateful. I live with no regrets, and I would do this movie over and over again if I could.
I don't support and I don't have any tolerance for any negative rhetoric towards people of any group. It saddens me that we're having to face this setback right now. All of us that came together to tell this story, we came together for love and for respect and curiosity, and we will continue to spread that message.
Well, you know, the girl has apologized for this, but do you think that these
She's not a girl, she's a full-grown...
All right, the woman.
A woman.
All right, so are these whole tweets going to hurt her chances because she's a big star now, and it might hurt her? What do you think?
So, honest take, I saw the film Emilia Pérez and I just didn't love it. It was not for me, despite the fact that I'm the biggest Selena Gomez fan on the planet, and I think Zoe Saldana is one of the greatest actors of our time. I'm binging Lioness, which she's phenomenal in. She's so good. But the honest truth is this. Zoe actually has more on-screen time, and I would argue had a stronger performance anyway in Emilia Pérez. She, I think, should have been put up for Best Actress rather than supporting role, because Carla actually had less screen time, apparently. So, in general, I don't really love the campaigning for movies. I kind of like the art just speaking for itself with the Oscars. And for me, this wasn't the best film. There were some good performances. But I also don't think the scandal should take away from the art of it if you enjoyed it.
Which movie do you think should get the Oscar?
So I honestly think A Complete Unknown was my favorite film of the year. I really loved it. But I also loved Denora. I thought it was excellent.
And Conclave.
Honora's.
I love Conclave.
I loved Conclave as well.
Right.
You know, so Zoe just got the Critics' Choice Award, I think last week, for supporting actor. So look, if folks want to penalize Carla Gascon, go right ahead. I'm not one that usually thinks these things should matter, that the film should stand for itself, except that some of her tweets, her hate tweets, were against the Oscars. And what really irked me is that Carla, who is a transgender woman, was tweeting against groups, against minority groups, against diversity. And so I find that particularly offensive, frankly. And where we are right now in the United States, I find it even more offensive. But you can't penalize the movie and the other actors and all the people who worked on it.
I can't tell if we're all saying so far the same thing, and I kind of agree. You have to remove the artist from the art, because I've talked about problematic people. We spoke about Kanye the other day. I don't think awards should be stripped from someone's artistry. I think you don't have to put them on the PR tour. You don't have to put them on the red carpet. You don't have to there's no endorsement of what they've said if it's been that awful.
Netflix has cut her off completely.
Yeah,
they're not paying for any of her
But I don't think it should...
costs.
I think you can't remove a bias. So if you're a voter and you've heard these things and it may color how you vote, you can't remove that. But I don't think she should be disqualified or taken out, or that it should hurt any other aspect. I have not seen the film. I have not heard one good thing about it, though. I heard it's very hard to watch.
Boy,
Yeah.
you girls are tough.
I know.
Okay, so I actually like the movie.
Did you like it?
But part of it is, so I started watching it. I had a really hard time, like the first 20 minutes, getting past the first 20 minutes. But I'm cheap, so once I pay the $19.99, I'm gonna watch till the very last word. And I thought it was well done. I thought Zoe was brilliant in it. But a lot of people in Mexico, this is supposed to be take place in Mexico, were very unhappy with this movie because, well,
lot of the actors weren't
everybody's
Mexican.
supposed to be playing Mexican, and Carla Garcia Gascon is Spaniard. She's not Mexican, and so people were like, "Wait a minute."
But they're actors.
Well, the director also, a lot of problems here. The director of this film referred to Spanish as, quote, a language of developing countries, humble countries, of the poor, of migrants.
Yeah.
So he's French, and he's saying that.
wow.
So there are layers to the problems.
There are a lot of diversity issues with this film, and you know, I do believe that art should stand for itself. And we've had this conversation at this table many, many times. Do you stop listening to the music because you've learned something about the artist? Do you stop watching a person's films because you learned something about the director? And I think people are sort of all different. I tend to speak with my dollars. If you're doing something like cutting off all DEI programs, I am not shopping at your establishment anymore. But that's just me, and I have the right to do that. I don't think that they should in any way just, take her out of consideration for the Oscars. I think the voters, though, do get to decide whether or not they want to award her for her performance without looking at all of the problems that she brought to this production. And it's so sad because Zoe was wonderful in it. Selena was wonderful in it. It is a good movie, but I think it has been tainted because of this one person's ignorance and bigotry.
Carla Gascon was doing a cleanup interview with CNN Espanol, tearful kind of apology. And they asked her if she was racist, and her response was, if I was racist, I wouldn't have done a movie with Zoe Saldana.
Oh, that's a really bad answer.
It's a very bad answer.
That was the Fix It tour?
That was
But again, I think
That's the redo.
But we all agree the other artist's art should stand on its own, and they shouldn't be prejudiced because of her bad actions and her bad statements.
All right, here's another story.
All right.
The White Lotus is the hit HBO series full of sex and betrayal. And it's set in the most gorgeous locations around the world. But the star, Michelle Monaghan, says that they're taking a fun detour this season. Watch.
3 childhood best friends, come together and reconnect after all these years. One of the things that Mike was eager to explore was the way in which women are conditioned to compare each other and to judge ourselves, and so that's something that we really lean into.
What do you think of a girls' trip? Do you ever go on a girls' trip?
I love it.
And the girls, do they turn on each other?
I travel specifically with 3 groups of people.
Well, you never go anywhere alone.
No, I travel in a pack.
Yes.
But I have 2 girls groups. One, the Machetes, and the other one, my friend.
Wait, is that a nickname or like a last name or a group?
It's the name for our group. I can't tell you why. So I have the Machete trip, and what we do is we go on boats, and we have a lot of cocktails, and we eat a lot, and we do stuff like that. And then I have my adventurous group, which I shouldn't be a part of.
No, because you're risk averse.
I'm very risk averse. And so when I go with that group, they have separate programming for me and for other people.
Oh, really?
So
It's like a yoga class. You don't have to go all the way into the pose.
My group
Just stay
right
here.
now is on a safari in Africa. Okay? That's my friend Tanya.
That's nice.
And she's very close to wild animals.
Wow.
And I felt that wild animals would smell fear, and they know that I'm prey. And so I felt that I would put the entire...
You're too skinny now. Nobody would bother.
I'm too skinny. No, but I think they know that I'm weak. And so they would attack me.
There's nothing weak
and
about you, Sunny
That's true.
Hostin.
That's true, girl. But so I didn't go on the trip because she didn't have counter programming
Well,
for me.
you also happen to have a job, so you're busy.
I do have a job.
Yeah, I think it's worth it. Brian wouldn't give you the time off to go.
I was going to get a a little sick for
Sorry,
that
I'm
trip.
in Africa.
But anyways, I have 2 girlfriends since 3rd grade. And when we turned 50, that's Anna and Christy, when we turned 50, we went on a girls' trip. And, you know, everybody says that's us singing
You're swimming in
karaoke.
open water.
Until, like, the
so
wee
cute.
hours. And I think there's something so spectacular about traveling with particularly friends that are such close friends. No,
Yes.
we don't judge each other. No, we don't compare each other.
No.
We build each other up. We hug each other. We embrace. We drink. We
Drink a
talk.
lot.
We eat. We see new things. And we make memories. And the older I get, the more it means to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a crew from my hometown. It's not glamorous. It's not on a boat. It's not on a
You don't
safari.
do boats?
I wish we did. We just go usually to Iowa. It's also exotic. A lot of people have not been there, and you will be taking a connecting flight. All things everyone seems to love.
Thailand, Des Moines.
Yeah. Not even Des Moines. That's the
Yeah,
city.
that's
It's
the-
a town next to Des Moines. But I think we have a picture. It's a group from childhood. And I think the best part is those kids are those people that you just know you to your
It's like
core.
a Clairol commercial.
But it's not always the massive group. It's sometimes like Paris. I love how I'm in the middle looking like it's the best day of my life. But it kind of is. But it's those people you can't make new old friends. So like those people
Yeah.
that know you through every bad haircut, every bad
Yes.
boyfriend, every bad decision.
Yeah.
And then they love you no matter what.
And aren't they
It's-
vaults? They don't
No, they don't
share.
share.
What happens at girls' trip stays at girls'
Well,
trip.
and I think that girls' trips are good for the soul. I make it a point to do 1 to 2 a year with my best girlfriends, and I always leave feeling very energized. But I will say the transition from like 20s girl trips to like 30s was very different. This was my bachelorette. Every one of them talked a big game like, we're gonna party so hard, we're gonna be out all night. Half of them show up pregnant and fell asleep at 10 p.m. And I was like, what happened to partying? I too fell asleep at about 10 p.m.
All right.
What about you?
I like to go with gay guys. We'll be right back.
The Weekend View is sponsored by Rock Skincare. Snuggle up to savings with some President's Day discounts. Scan the QR code to get 15% off all View merchandise through February 17th. Get t-shirts, blankets, and the official Season 28 View mug before this limited edition collection is gone.
Celebrity couple Nick and Vanessa Lachey told Brides magazine that no matter how busy their schedules get, they always pencil in time for sex. They have a meeting set every Wednesday. They call it Hump Day. Do you schedule sex, you girls?
Yes.
Or does it take the thrill out of it?
I wish it was thrilling, but we're not at that phase in our lives. It used to be thrilling, which is why I'm here, and we have children. But then there's a period of time where you're like ships passing in the night, and it sounds really bad. And I realize I used to laugh at things like this. But if we are going to take care of our marriage, we have to schedule our sex.
So how do you prepare for that?
Happy Valentine's Day, Matt.
I mean, do you do like watch a movie together?
Joy,
or
you
do you-
always recommended martinis.
I recommend.
He's a man. He needs no
He needs
preparation.
nothing.
No, but
how
she
does
does.
she prepare?
I don't care about him.
She
She
says a martini.
Well,
At that point, I'm not
one.
really worried about me. I just need to make sure his needs are met.
I always say, if you really want to get it going, you have to do it in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Don't eat a big meal.
Yeah,
That
okay,
really
agreed.
kills it. So you're like sort of hungry and you have a martini at around 2 in the afternoon, and then bada bing, bada bang.
Yeah.
You'll 2 p.m. martini.
Yes, she gave me that advice.
Yeah, that's
good advice.
That helped.
Yeah.
How about you, Anita?
Well, listen, I travel so much. Watching this of Nick and Vanessa, they're so damn gorgeous and young.
Yeah,
and if
they're
they're having
beautiful.
a hard time, I'm feeling a lot less inadequate, trying to
If only
sneak it
beautiful
in.
people had sex, the world would be filled with beautiful people, and it's not. Okay, so obviously you don't have to be beautiful to enjoy sex.
Okay, John, thank you for the permission to go have sex. No,
I'm just saying.
no, what I'm saying is if they're very young, they're beautiful, they have all sorts of resources, are having a hard time scheduling it, I think it should make the rest of us who maybe, don't have all those things feel less inadequate.
No.
Because I think women feel inadequate when our men want to have sex, and we're tired or we're traveling or the dog's on the bed or whatever.
The dog is a big impediment, I'm finding. That's the biggest impediment to my sex life. Is
You feel like making out with the dog more, right?
You feel embarrassed to do anything in front of the dog.
I move him out, but then he scratches on the door.
No, you can't have the dogs involved. I will say
not
that,
your dogs. Your dogs are
mine are 150 pounds, but they're the size of people. But I will say, Manny and I have been married for 26 years. And yes, thank you. And so we always made time to get it in. But now that our children are away in college, I'm an empty nester.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time.
That's a sex den you're talking about.
You've got all sorts of time.
And I always take your martini suggestion.
Take the martini.
I do relate to this, though.
Tequila works, too.
One of the women that I interviewed for my show, My First Ex-Husband, come and see it. It's playing right now.
Yeah.
One of the women had a husband who just will not stop with her.
That was the
Every
one I
man
related
wanted-
to the most.
Really? Really? You have a husband who won't leave you alone?
Yes.
Alyssa, this morning, wait, you have to hear this. We're in the meeting this morning, and Alyssa says that she has a timer on her phone that tells her when to put deodorant on.
Yes.
Did you ever hear of it?
That is not what
really
it was.
interesting.
I had left the house this morning and realized, oh no, I forgot to put on deodorant.
forgot to schedule
So I
the deodorant.
I set an alarm clock to remind me after a morning meeting when I'm in my dressing room where I have deodorant to put it on.
We were still
I don't
in the
daily
morning
need a
meeting,
reminder.
and the alarm goes off, and we're like, girl,
And it
what's
literally
up?
says deodorant.
And it says deodorant on it. That was
Glad
Alyssa.
I remembered, though.
Oh my God! I hope that woman who does that commercial for Lume doesn't have an
puts it
alarm.
everywhere.
Let me tell you, that
Lume's
commercial can kill your sex life. The pits and the crick and the thing and the this.
All right, we'll be right back. We gotta go.
Lume's good, guys.
The Weekend View is sponsored by Rock Skincare.
Sara was on the Behind the Table podcast with Brian this week, so check it out.
I think these are the guests that probably had you really excited to get out of bed this morning. Saturday Night Live greats, Lorraine Newman, Julia Sweeney, and Leslie Jones. They were with us today to celebrate the 50th anniversary of SNL. They have a big thing this weekend. Now, SNL, I know, is extremely important to you. It's important to me, too, but I feel like for you, SNL is to you what David Letterman was for me.
Well, so SNL is why I came to New York City.
Right.
All in its entirety. And it wasn't because I don't think I could have dreamt big enough to really think I was going to make it onto SNL, but the sketch comedy model was what motivated me to come to New York and try to get into improv and sketch comedy. Yes. Not stand-up, but improv and sketch. SNL was like my North Star. And to see the greats. Now, then I become a page. And part of my tour, when you get to the SNL studio, is the not yet ready for primetime players.
All right, so for people who don't know, the NBC Page program is a big deal if you're coming up in television.
Yeah.
After you get internships and things like that, everyone wants to be an NBC Page because there's a long legacy of people that have done it and gone on to big careers, both front of and behind the camera.
Yeah, like Regis Philbin was an NBC. There are a lot of people beyond that, but your tour involves looking at those not yet ready for primetime player, the picture, and talking about them. To see the groups of comedians that took a chance and this institutional show they have made. We all know their ebbs and flows as to which years you like and everything. But the cast members that have graced that stage, if you walk anywhere near the studio in 30 Rock, you feel the energy of greatness that has come through there in a way that being a page kind of summed up what my life was going to be like. Like, I'm just there and I'm seeing everything, but I'm behind a window.
It's still the coolest place in New York, I feel like, in television and everything else. I mean, it's the only thing that, like, I'd actually be excited to be in the audience for as far as, like, TV in New York City now at this point in my career. And I've been there a bunch of times. It's always really, really cool, and the talent is just off the charts. I grew up watching it like you did, I think. Probably earlier than I should have been because a lot of it was not appropriate. But I remember going to Blockbuster and getting all the best of VHSs and watching them over and over again and memorizing sketches from way before my time and really loving it.
Well, and I was discussing it this morning about like my favorites and who did I love. And as you start, you can't stop because the amount of greats that have come through SNL it's legendary. It's like a
Right.
Hall of Fame.
Yes, but really what I found is everybody's favorite SNL is the one that they grew up with.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll never compare to this. Like for
Yep.
me, it was like Phil Hartman and then like
He's one of the greats.
Yeah, and Dana Carvey and then
I like Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Tell me what your view. Well, we've talked about the View Mount Rushmore. Tell me what your SNL Mount Rushmore is. So you get 4 names. Who are the 4 people on SNL's Mount Rushmore? It's very hard.
Okay, it is very hard because I almost have to do men and women not to separate them, but there's too many to limit them down. So men, I'd say Will Ferrell.
You can't do men. You have to do 4 people.
Okay, shut up. Will Ferrell, Chris Farley will be the 2 men. And then for women, I have to go Amy Poehler. And then I'd probably maybe go Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I didn't even watch her episodes.
She wasn't even. That wasn't like her peak, though. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but
she as an entity is one of the best. She's
okay.
not.
So I'm gonna go Amy Poehler and Kristen Wiig.
Okay, that's a very good list. It's wrong, but it's a really good list. I would do. Let's see, Eddie Murphy first of all.
Well, I know Eddie Murphy's iconic, but I grew up under the Will Ferrell, Chris Farley.
I understand, and
Yeah.
I'm going to go Will Ferrell also. So I'm
You
going to
have
have Eddie Murphy, the biggest star ever to do SNL. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Chris Rock was on there.
Chris Rock was on there. He was. He's very good. I'm going to go
Again, good luck.
I'm
4.
going to go with Tina Fey, who I think belongs there.
I mean, she'd be one of them. I mean, I can't narrow it down.
And I'm going to go with. Oh, this is hard. I'm going to go with Phil Hartman. I think he deserves that. Yeah.
Phil Hartman, when you watch even the specials since he's
Passed,
after he was killed, like the flashbacks, you forget how many times you were like dying on the floor.
Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer or
Oh, my
any of that stuff. I mean,
gosh.
he's just the best. Between that and The Simpsons. All right. Now, you weren't just SNL adjacent while you were at NBC. You were actually portrayed on SNL. Did you know this? Are you aware of this?
You mean with Kathy Lee and Hoda?
You with Kathy Lee and Hoda.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, wait. There was a dream come true moment where
Yes.
someone that works on SNL sends me a picture and it's a wig and it
Mm-hmm.
says Sara Haines. And she couldn't tell me. I mean, it was a Saturday. It's a Zach Galifianakis is the guest host. That was the one time
I have it here. Let's take a look together.
my nephew was like
Let's
impressed
take a
with
look.
me.
All right, ready?
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but Facebook is blowing up over here.
Oh, look, everybody, it's our web correspondent, Sara Haines. Wait till we get our hands on you. This really is so loud.
From Mindy in Glendale,
like two
California.
chickens fighting.
This show is like watching 2 drunk chickens fight over a piece of garbage. But why can't I stop watching? Why? Ooh.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's really no better honor, I think.
The closest I'm going to get to SNL is someone playing me on SNL. I'll take it.
Well, it's supposed to be an honor to be imitated.
You've been imitated many times.
Mine is like, so what? Who cares? And he's always got like a twitch, which
you
I
do
have.
that with your hair,
Well, I
right?
have a twitch because the brassiere is always annoying me. So I'm always pulling it down. I tell you, if I could get those puppies to be free, I'd be happy. But I can't. I have to wear a brassiere. But and Whoopi and I are usually done by men.
By men, yeah.
Do you care whether it's a man or a
Well,
woman?
I care. I don't care. If it's funny, it's funny. What do I care? Catch the Views Behind the Table podcast wherever you get your podcasts or on our YouTube channel. Have a great day, everybody. Take a little time to enjoy the weekend view.